Hey everybody, welcome back to some more X4 Foundations, playing the 4.0 beta right now, and today we're going to talk about one of the greatest controversies of our time. That would be medium versus large freighters. It's kind of like Nintendo versus Sega, at least for me. That's me. You may have something else, I don't know. PC versus console, I guess, was the thing. I could go off on a big tangent about how consoles were so much better than PCs for a long time for the games I played, and still are. Well, I mean, for certain types of games, but PCs were better for other types of games, but now they all do pretty good things that comes down to input. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. What should you use, medium transports or large freighters? That's what we're going to discuss today. And, there's a lot of ways to talk about this. So I'll apply one rule. We'll make it a perfect world in which the pilots of these ships performed optimally in their mechanics around gates and docks and things like that. So we'll just assume they all perform optimally in those cases. Because you can get into so much minutia with how they act in game, out of sector, in sector, things like that. We're just going to go on the basis of everything works optimally in those situations. First, let's start by a little comparison using the handy ship comparison tool. We're going to go with Argon just because, I like Argon stuff. I like the way it looks. So we're going to use the venerable and everybody's favorite Mercury as a medium ship. They all have their pluses and minuses for each type here. Where are you? Mercury Vanguard. We're going to go high preset. Confirmed. And we're going to go with the Incarcatua, because I like it. It kind of looks like a bigger Mercury. Now, people have other opinions on which large freighter is better, but that's not really the point to compare large versus large. We're doing large versus medium here. Incarcatua. High. Confirm. Okay. Some things that obviously jump out right away is the Mercury is much less survivable, with a caveat, than the Incarcatua. The Incarcatua has a lot more hull, a lot more shields than the Mercury. So it can take a beating. You'll see Xenon or fighter squadrons hammering on these ships and really not make a dent. So they are very survivable. Now, the Mercury and other medium freighters are survivable in that they're fast enough to escape. Most pirates, as long as they don't stick around too long before they flee. So they're both escapable in their own ways. The large ships can just tank a lot more damage than a Mercury. I lose Mercury sometimes. I don't think I've ever lost an Incarcatua or a large freighter before. You have to be really reckless with those to lose them. The next kind of thing to notice is the speed, and this is where a lot of the pro-medium arguments come in. Generally, the speed of the medium ships is much better than the large freighters, as you can see, 277 versus a paltry 50 meters per second. That is very low. The only way the large ship beats the Mercury or the medium ships is travel speed. And I'll also put another caveat in here. With ship mods, you can increase travel speed and other speeds to some pretty good amounts. But we're not gonna take those into account. If you have the mods to make your large ships extremely fast, well, then you know what you're doing. You know which ships to use and things like that. They can make a big difference. So we're just going with modless. So the medium ships are just a whole lot more quicker in general, except for travel speed. than the large ships. And the other big thing here with speed is medium ships can use the highways while large ships can't. So you know the blue ring that goes around the whole system? That would be the highway. If you notice any large ships, they can't use that. They can use their travel engines. So if you've really jacked up travel speed, it's okay. But if you don't, they're going to crawl through these systems, and the medium ships are going to be much quicker. And then we have cargo space. As you would expect, the large freighters have a lot more cargo space. In this case, it's approximately 5 times more cargo space than the medium. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, as we'll discuss further. The large ships also have a lot more crew, a lot more docking, so they can haul other things around, and a lot of crew too. Now, the other part of the equation is cost. Let's take a look here. Now, cost is a little difficult. If I wanted to, I could probably do the math on the cost here with the base cost, but, I don't want to do that. So we're just going to do with whatever they have in stock for components, which does affect the cost. So high preset, we're looking at about 14.5 million credits for the Incarcatua. That's a lot. And how much are we looking for the Mercury? The Mercury is usually quite a bit cheaper. High preset, 1.7. So my calculations before, which use a little different prices, you could get approximately 7 Mercuries for one of the large freighters. Now, if you take the cargo space of 8,200 times 7, you get more cargo than an Incarcatua can haul around for roughly the same price and faster. So that is one of the primary arguments for using medium traders. Now, things change between patches. So one pro for the large freighter would be the pilot. So in the old days, of 1, 2, and such, finding pilots that could auto trade was easy. They were pretty much everywhere. 3-star pilots were very easy to get, and then you could easily have a ton of medium freighters with 3-star pilots. Nowadays, they're harder to get. I have 1 at this point in my game, and I'm very close to having 3. I have 2 which are just on the cusp of being 3 stars. So you may want to put your pilots in strategic places since you have so limited 3-star. That brings up kind of another topic is with auto trading. Large freighters are generally not that great for auto traders because auto trading is about finding kind of the best deal, and that does not always involve using all of the cargo space. Now, they've kind of tweaked this in between patches, and I don't know exactly where it is right now, but if you put a 3-star pilot set to auto trade, put on a large freighter, it may not even use all that cargo space to do a deal. So that would just go to waste if they don't use that, and they'll be slow. While medium auto traders are more likely to use all their cargo space and be faster. Conversely, large freighters are thought to be better for the distributing wares behavior. And this is mainly because distributing wares involves buying one ware, filling up your cargo space with it, and then selling it to whatever stations need it. So, for example, energy cells. A lot of stations need energy cells. The large freighter can fill up all that cargo space with energy cells and just keep making stops, dropping off energy, selling energy cells where needed. Now, it doesn't really care about making a profit at this point with these. So it's dubious as to how much money you'll make on it, but it will use up all the cargo space and keep that freighter busy for a while. So those are kind of the main arguments with large and medium freighters. I'd like to know what you think. My kind of conclusion is I use medium freighters a lot, but it's very handy to have some large freighters around, especially for manual trading. If I need to move a lot of something somewhere, I'll use the large freighter. If I need to sell like a massive amount of hull parts to a station because they're in the building stages, a large freighter is better. So when usually under manual command, I think a large freighter's the way to go, or if you want to fly it yourself. But it really comes down to the mission you want. I don't think large freighters are necessarily bad. They're very expensive. I generally put an escort on them for as much good as it does, but I definitely don't want to lose them because they're so expensive. And then there's a lot of differences come in if you use certain mods that make sectors bigger, get rid of the highways. That changes the value proposition when it comes to using large freighters. So let me know in the comments what you think about freighters versus the medium transports. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.